Hey, well, welcome back to another podcast with Harrison and Olivia. Let's go.
Let's go. Olivia and I enjoy doing this mainly because we both talk way too much and we can sit here and talk together for hours, which is kind of like our relationship anyway.
Yeah.
So it just makes this easy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about relationships.
Yes.
All right. So have you ever done online dating?
Oh, yeah. A couple times. Not loving it.
No?
Mm-hmm.
So what apps did you use?
Oh, probably eHarmony and like
Don't be stupid, go to Cupid. Did you go to Cupid?
I didn't go
So
to
you were
Cupid.
stupid. That was fun.
I was stupid. That's fine. Somebody told me I should go to farmersonly.com, and
What
I'm
the
like,
hell?
no, probably not.
I wish I had nationwide time. What the hell? It's that guy on the shorts.
No.
Connor, can you make
I
that
have
voice?
nothing.
I don't know if I can.
All right, hold up. Let's see if we can do this. All right,
I gotta think about the guy you're talking about. Hold up.
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger.
Yeah. I'm not sure that we could,
Did that cross?
I know. Yeah, I think that's cross lines. Yeah, you
we-
can't ask the Asian for that one, and then
I think that I had a better Asian accent than he did.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, so you did.
So and then I've even the Facebook one where you can go on Facebook and do
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
Facebook dating. Oh, I did that for a day.
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
most awful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's not. Yeah, I don't know. And some people find people on those, and I just. To me, it feels like anybody that has done any type of internet lead generation for your business, to me, that's what it feels like. And so it feels like a job. And it feels like with internet,
It's like
internet
you're
leads,
looking for job postings and
Yes.
opportunities, and you're waiting for the price to come down, maybe. I can't afford that right now, but maybe if she sits there long enough, maybe.
I don't know, but they're just it feels, and maybe it's my age too, because that's not how I'm 42, so when we first started dating, that wasn't that's not how people dated, and now it's very much the custom. But I didn't like it. I've went on a couple dates from that, but.
Oh, you actually made it to a date.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell us the best date. The best. I didn't say it was good, just the best.
Okay. You know what? There was one that it ended up. We met at is it the steak place by the mall? They're not by the mall, but this side.
Longhorn?
Longhorn. I think isn't that?
He brought you to a chain restaurant?
Yeah.
This dude sucks already.
No, I may have recommended it. I don't know. But we actually we had a good conversation. And so that was actually that part was good, right? Because but that part was actually good. So I'd say that was a pretty good date.
Okay.
It didn't go anywhere. We talked a little bit after that, but it didn't go anywhere. But as far as just getting there and going, he wasn't a creep, he wasn't weird or anything like that.
There was no spark?
I guess, yeah.
But hey, good for him. He wasn't a serial killer or
That's
a creep.
right. That's right. Didn't get any creepy vibes, so that's good.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Hit all of his teeth.
All right, now let's go to the fun part.
Pictures looked like the right pictures, yeah.
Tell me about the worst one.
There wasn't that many, so it's not but I guess
Yeah, Olivia is a dating savant.
let's see, the worst one. It wasn't even that bad, but we met because after a while ago, I get why people don't want to meet and do the whole dinner because you're just now I'm stuck talking to somebody that I may not enjoy.
I almost feel like a quick walk or
Well, that's to me, that would actually be the best. But then as a female, I'm where would we walk around here that I wouldn't feel I don't want to go walk in Caroli and I don't met this guy.
I was about to say Restoration Park, and I'd be like, well, maybe I would just walk the road frontage. Hey, we're actually just going to be walking this 100 yards.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah, because Restoration Park, I used to walk around. It's very,
it's rapey back there.
Yes, that is 100%. When I run there, I have, I take a dog or no.
Yeah, I walked it at Twilight one day, and I was
that
like,
hotel backs up, so I'm like,
feel
oh,
like-
that's somebody's gonna come grab you, and they're not gonna,
I feel like you could die back there and
Yeah, and
nobody
no
would
one
know.
would know.
Yeah, because there's definitely alligators been there.
Oh yeah, well, alligators and there's a few snakes. More than a few, but like I have was running in the summer, and I had a dog with me. Dogs you'd think would be like, oh, I'm scared and bark at a snake. No, twice the dog let me I had to rescue the dog from the snake one time, and then one time I almost stepped on a snake. So
Yeah.
like we met for coffee or coffee or whatever, and that part was fine. And actually, like we had like a good conversation, and so we did a second date, and he's probably a nice guy, but at the same time, like way too let's meet my son. And I'm like, dude, I just met you, so it wasn't like the meeting of the kid. It was just like everything that he was. I'm like, let's see if we even like each other before we I don't know. It was just very much.
Yeah, that'd be a red flag for me if somebody was like, meet my kid on first date.
Well, it felt like it was.
I'm outie.
Well, that's right. And he was almost like, oh, like I don't know. Like it was to me. It was either like this is going to be like the love bomb situation, or he it was just weird. It was way too fast, and I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just the kid thing, but it was like several comments like that. Like, if he would have told me, like, I loved you on that date, I would have not been surprised.
It
was
par for the
like,
course.
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's, no.
Yeah, I was just trying to have a burger.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, yeah, it just, no. But yeah, so that's, I just,
Yeah.
But with that, like, one of the things that I said to you is, like, everybody that I've ever dated, really dated, I was always friends with first, or we were, hanging out with a group of people first. I'm not a big fan of, like, I just met you and I've got to decide if I like
I
you,
just met you,
if you're,
and this is crazy.
No,
But
yeah.
here's my number. So
So
call me maybe.
So,
Yeah.
so that's my internet dating. Tell me about your internet dating.
I did a stint in the Bumbles. No, it was awful. That was awful. Which, so I don't like,
I feel very judgy.
yeah, you told me that. That you're like, it's, because it's mainly physical. Like, I'll tell you as a dude, I'm sitting there like, just like,
Yeah. But
nope.
Well, that's well, yeah.
Like, I'm not even reading. I'm just.
Well, see, and I read because I don't want to be an asshole. So I'm like, but let me read. Maybe what he wrote is, and again, like this was telling you, like I'm not one of those people that are looking for like you're a writer, but I'm just like, if you start yours off about I don't do drama, I'm done.
No, by saying no drama, it literally means that you are likely dramatic.
Yes,
Yeah.
not likely.
Like, it's 100% actually.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
And I'm sure you got because it was females, but as a male, if I want a man. If you have duck lips in your picture as a dude, or you're on a couch, like laid back, no, like it just no.
You want a man.
Yeah,
A real man.
I guess so. Really. But all that's very judgy. I wouldn't see 90% of that stuff if I just met you through
they're
people
putting
or
their
whatever.
version of their best self online
Yeah.
for you to, like, they're doing a mini audition for you.
Yeah.
And so it's fair to judge them. I mean,
I think it feels terrible. So, but go back. So you did a stint.
I did a small stint on the Bumbles.
Bumble, yeah.
It did not go well. And I also, I find things like that really awkward. I don't really hit on girls. Like, I know that's maybe one of the reasons I'm single at 34.
Well,
that's one of the many reasons.
Yeah.
But no, I find it real weird to be like, yo, what up, mama?
Yeah,
that's creepy. I've never met you before.
That's right. Or
I'm not gonna say I haven't done it.
Right.
I definitely have not done it recently. Now, if you went, we
So, how many girls' DMs have you slid into?
in my life. Does this include my college and high school years? Oh,
Maybe we
man.
shouldn't go back that far.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you went post college. No, okay, hold up. Let me track back to that. Post bar days. So at 25, I owned a bar.
Yeah.
So
you didn't have to
I knew
everybody.
every promiscuous woman under the age of 30. I knew them. So I would say at that time,
That might have been
my
a problem, which
my,
that's your criteria.
my DM game was strong, man. After that, whenever I I had some personal growth, and maybe some maturity and development, I would say that those DM slides would be in the single digits probably, and that's from 26 to 34. So in 8 years, single digit DM slides, I think I'm doing pretty good there. And we all have a moment of weakness, like you have a little bit too much to drink. Oh, she's kind of cute, like yo.
Well, that was the other thing that was always weird about to me internet dating. Is so even if you say even if you swipe on them, they swipe on you. Hey. Like,
what am I supposed to say?
Hey, how are you? How are you? Like, it's just inane chit chat that I would never say in real life.
Yeah. So, it's on topic and off topic at the same time. So I was at a bar. I was at the Brass Monkey. Now this was
The Brass Monkey.
The Funky Monkey Junkie.
I think it was Funky.
Funky Monkey Junkie.
Oh, I don't know.
Was that it? I don't know. All right. So, and I was with, I don't remember who I was with. It was like 2 or 3 people, and we had been there. I mean, we got there before 5, so it was like 8 o'clock at night. I've been there for a minute, not sober, and there was this really, really good-looking redhead, she wasn't old, but
Older than you.
older. Yeah. So my age range is actually younger than me. I'm not really attracted to older women.
Yeah.
This lady was very good looking.
Yeah.
And so I actually went and hit on her. And because I had said something that day, and I said, asking someone on a date is nothing other than a listing appointment, and I'm really good at listing appointments, so let's just try this out. And so I went over, I'm hitting her with the questions, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You get a free meal, you're gonna have a great time. And so she did say yes.
Yeah.
Never went, but she said yes.
Yeah.
That was my only goal.
Yeah.
Fast forward 3 years later.
Did you go on a listing appointment with her?
No.
No.
I dated her daughter.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really date. We hung out. We went to Los Angeles together during
Netflix
COVID.
and chilled.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
so
at least you knew her daughter was going to grow up and be pretty too.
yeah, daughter's gorgeous. Yeah, she's really pretty. So I will say
Or
this.
not grow up. She was obviously grown up. I mean, as she got older,
she raised one of the nicest young ladies I've ever met in my entire life. Her daughter was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was her daughter. I had to find out.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually not that surprised in a town this size.
Yeah, and so you would think that that daughter was really real. No, I mean she's younger than me, but she's not robbing the cradle or anything like that.
Yeah.
She's got a degree, she's a nurse. She's an adult.
She's an adult.
Yeah,
24, 25, 26.
Yeah. I thought she's probably 26. I don't really ask people how old they are.
That could be. Yeah.
I am incriminating myself so bad.
Yes.
All right, so the internet. So I had somebody reach out to me. And they went, Harrison Lilly. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, if you're on this site, I'm screwed. And I was like, we're all doomed here. We're all here. It's not good.
Yeah.
So I, after that was kind of embarrassing for me. So I unsubscribed immediately.
Oh, so maybe we
Never
should.
to have returned.
So Paige, my sister-in-law, and I'm like, you ever seen that TV show where 90 Day Fiance or whatever, or Love It or Married at First Sight? We just need to send you on that show. They'll just connect you with somebody.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm not good at dating. I'm not good at relationships. It's not because I'm cheating or
Well, I
anything
don't know.
like that.
I think you're good. Well, so I think just define that, because I think you're good at relationships that are not romantic relationships.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have you have lifelong guy friends. You've got lifelong friends with girls too. It's just that it's the romantic part.
Yeah, emotionally unavailable, and I think that may be because my emotion goes into my work. So it's definitely a time availability thing, and then what I am attracted to and what functionally makes sense for me are two different things. So, obviously there are weeks like this week, my work week was really not that crazy this week. I probably worked 40, 50 hours. That's That's a light week for me. On a typical week, especially in busy season and listings are going up and businesses are growing and we're opening up new things. I mean, me and you just got done talking about some things you're trying to do in your business. And I just hired a graphic designer that's meant to tell you that I hired a graphic designer for a month starting Monday.
Okay.
So because I need these projects done and these other graphic designers in Monroe, Louisiana do not want to work. I do not understand. However, so he actually, he's one of the people who helped me with my original presentation and all that stuff. And I talked to his wife and I said, hey, I just want to make sure that y'all aren't mad at me. Like the last time I tried to use him, he was, he basically told me he was too busy for me and that I needed to go find somebody else. So I did. And he still has the same job. He's likely still too busy for me. So I just, if something's changed, let me know, but I don't want y'all to be mad at me. And she was like, no, he is too busy for you, blah, blah, blah. Sends me a text the same day on Friday. And he goes, hey, I'm your guy. And I was like, hold up, like you said you were too busy for me, and I have already been waiting over 3 months on other graphic designers who have not come through and done their job. And so what's changed? He goes, my employment status. So I was like, so do you need a job for a month? Because I'm going to take up every bit of your time for 4 weeks. And he was like, that would be great. So I could bridge the gap and do whatever he goes and finds next. And so anyway, we now have a full-time graphic designer for a month.
Go.
I thought, let's go.
I got some stuff.
Me too. So we got some things we need to roll out. How did that relate into the dating? How did we get here?
Oh, I think because if it's with job and family, he was maybe limiting, like, okay, I can only do this much business because I do want to have time with my loved one.
Yeah. And so I don't, so again, what functionally works for me and what I'm attracted to is two different things. Like I would love, if you're like, Harrison, describe for me your perfect girl. First of all, I would go dark hair, blue eyes. So if you qualify, we're almost there.
Yes.
All right. Next is like, what I'm attracted to. Like I like dominant women, and what I mean by that is like I like girls who know who they are, and they don't thrive on your attention. They're not codependent. They want me. They don't need me. I like that. I like it when I'm a choice, not a necessity. Yeah. Like, well, if I'm not with him, then how are my bills going to get paid? I never want to feel that way. Like being a sugar daddy, transactional sex or transactional relationships, they're not for me. Yeah. Not a fan. I don't feel valued inside of that. So like a girl who like, I don't care what her career was, right? Yeah. But like whether it be an entrepreneur or a doctor, lawyer, whatever, pharmacist, don't really care. Just someone who knows who they are, like has the ability to support themselves, but chooses to be in that relationship with me. That's what sounds great to me. And then, like I'm not gonna say I've dated girls like that. I talked to a girl recently. She's a multiple business entrepreneur, makes good money. She's absolutely gorgeous. We can't get on the same page on schedule. Yeah. Like she'll text me and I may not text back for like 12 hours. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like it was a hell of a day. Like we took 6 listings and I'm working on a new business and we're doing this. And she's like, no, I get it. That's fine. And then I text her and like, don't hear back for a day. And she's like, single mom life, own 2 businesses. I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, you're not mad at me. I'm not mad at you. Yeah. It's just and then like we've tried timing. We've tried that like 3 times and it has just not gone well. Yeah. Like there's no animosity between either one of us.
It's just wrong timing.
Yeah. And so like that's what I'm attracted to, and yet it doesn't really work. And so like what does work is like when I'm off work, like you have time for me because you have time. Yeah. And but then at the same time, I don't feel very valued inside those relationships because I feel like I become a necessity to them. Like, well, if I want to continue to live this lifestyle, then I've got to stay with Harrison. You know, I can't get caught stepping out. I can't, like, this isn't a choice for me anymore. It is, I have to be here if I want to continue to live this way. And then I also I'm not attracted to women that don't have a drive for themselves. Yeah.
You know, like something they're passionate about.
Yeah. If I get home and you're still in bed at 10 o'clock a.m., and this is even on Saturdays. I'm not a bed layer. I do the same thing 7 days a week. Now my time may change a little bit, but like 30 minutes, not. Yeah. I can't stay in bed. And but those two people, like, you can't. Those two things don't mix.
Yeah. Well, so that's funny that you say that because and I'm kind of, and it's funny too because like I'm kind of the opposite. So like when I think about like, okay, who would I want to be in a relationship with? I always think about, this is probably a weird topic, but our local weird switch, but like my grandmother, she was a nurse. She would, she worked out of the house, and my grandfather would actually, and he worked as well, but he worked, he was like a farmer and a handyman and things like that. But so he would iron her uniform. He would get the girls up and to school, and he was a very involved dad. And so I think like part of like what's your love language, my love language is acts of service. So when I think about somebody that if I wanted to be in a relationship with, it would be somebody like my grandfather, who was very much a man's man, and at the same time, Memo didn't have to worry about stuff because he took care of stuff at the house.
Yeah.
And he took care of, very involved with the kids and all of that. So to me, that's what I'm kind of looking for. And at the same time, to me, it's very important. Like, I don't care if his job is like, he doesn't have to make what I make, but if his job is, I don't care what it is. If it's he picked up, trash, that's fine. But what are you passionate about? Like, so let's say that he did that so that he could be with his kids, or he did like something that he'd get off at 2 because he wanted to. He was in a rock band. I don't care what it is. But if you don't have something in your life that you're passionate about and you're learning and what are we going to talk about? Like, I just know.
Yeah.
So, but so I get that what you're saying about like so I think that's kind of my thing with a guy would be somebody that is, that like to perform acts of service, right? Like he, because that's how I feel.
So what are your top 2 love languages?
Acts of service. And acts of service. I think it's just acts of service.
Oh, that's it?
I think so.
So Olivia wants a slave.
No. So like, I'll give this example. So this was, I've had girl roommates, guy roommates, and this guy that I'm talking about is strictly a roommate. Like, that was it. Well, it was so awesome while he was living with me. Like, I came home one day and I hadn't even noticed it, but my, like, the light to my outside, like the night light that comes on, like, it had went out. I come home one day and it was just fixed. I didn't have to say anything. And I would have done it because I lived by myself. I did that stuff, but I didn't even have to ask. It was just done. And I was like, oh my God, that's the sweetest thing ever. But I know, right? But I don't know. I'm not like, I'm very much like, no, I don't need anybody doing everything for me, but that's when you do something that you're like, yeah, I know she can do it, but I'll just take care of it. Or, that's acts of service.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think my love languages are?
So what are so there's acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and gifts. You're a quandary. Usually I think I could nail people, but I'm going to say quality time.
Wrong.
No.
Yeah, I that. In fact, that annoys me when people want my time.
Well, that's what I remember you telling stories. I was like, oh crap! But I guess my guess with the guys always like physical touch, but I don't think that's yours.
Yeah, it's not mine at all. Yeah, I'm not needy.
See you something like gifts, but I don't.
Man,
so physical touch.
You have literally struck out.
Yeah. Was it?
So number 1 would be acts of service.
Acts of service.
And number 2 is words of affirmation.
Oh shit! Yes, words of affirmation we didn't mention. I would have caught that.
So for people who don't know me very well, and like it's funny that people's opinion of me is that I'm like haughty or braggadocious or whatever, and I do to be fair, I do walk with a swagger, and I'm very sure of who I am and what I bring to the table, whichever table I'm sitting at that day, and yet I have big imposter syndrome, like. I think one of the reasons I struggle with speaking, I'm like, well, why should I speak? Like, there's other people here with bigger talents and whatever. And I look at my wife and I'm like, I'm no one from nothing. And like, we're doing well, but we're not there yet. And, so I'm very down on myself. So like that attaboy, like, hey, you killed it today. Yeah. Like that's like, I'll tell you that probably means more to me than any I love you. Right.
Yeah.
It was like affirming like, hey, you went out there and crushed it today. Great job.
Yeah.
And then acts of service is definitely like, I don't have a lot of time. And so like when somebody gives me their time to make my life better, I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and that's, because like, even like, to me, like, even I was thinking about gifts. If you give me a gift, am I going to appreciate it? Sure. But if it's to me, like, I don't even like buying gifts
It
except
needs
for
to be super heartfelt.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't like buying gifts for Christmas or birthdays
Uh-huh.
because then it's almost like you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I love buying gifts, like in the sense of like I'll see like my nephew.
Yeah.
He has grown up reading Lewis L'Amour's just like me. He loves them. And one year for Christmas, I found like the Sackett's, which is what we read. I found I went and bought all of the Sackett books and I gave that to him. And that was the same year he got like his first car and he was more excited about the books. That was like
a win.
That's the gift that I like to give.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just give you, oh, it's your birthday, here's some socks. What the? But if it's something that like I'm like, this screams Harrison,
Yeah.
or oh my God, like that's the gifts that I do. And if somebody gets me a gift like that, then I do like. But otherwise, I'm just like, I mean, you gotta give me a high five, we're good.
Oh, well, so, and to be fair, like you make good money, and so if you want something, what do you do?
buy it, yeah.
And people say that to me all the time. I'm like, what do you buy for the guy who just like goes, hey, I think I want this.
Yeah.
Click, it'll be here in 2 days. You know,
Yeah.
And I do that. That's not my strongest trait. However, I'll tell you this. So there was somebody who wanted to say thank you to me one day, and they wrote me a handwritten thank you card, and they put $500 in the card. I didn't give a flying about that money.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd tell you what I did. It was $500 bills, and I went and handed it to the staff. And I
Yeah.
just said, hey, somebody gave me this. I'm just giving it to
Yeah.
y'all. Y'all have fun. Congrats. Like, y'all go have dinner tonight,
Yeah.
whatever. But the card made me tear up.
That's right.
And so, like, it was their time, their written word, where I knew they were sincere because I'd done something for them
Yes.
and their family. And I was like, that means a lot to me. Kept the card, gave away the money.
Yeah.
I know that's completely opposite of most humans, but like that's what mattered to me was their time and their words on paper.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like that's the other thing. So like words of affirmation, for me probably and actually I need to go back and look at mine's probably somewhere in there, but not words of affirmation for everybody. Like I think I told you this one time. Like I'm weird. Like if somebody. When I was younger, I used to have this aunt that would be like, that I barely saw, never knew, and they'd be like, oh, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, who are you to be proud of me? Like, you don't.
Thanks.
Like, you don't, what do you mean you're proud of me? Like, and I must tell like, she was like trying to, like, I don't know, like, take my confidence. So, like, if I don't know you, it doesn't, but if you give me a sincere, like, something I'm working on and you notice it, or it's kind of like the difference between, like, great job and, oh my God, Olivia, I saw that you've really been working on doing this and you did that. Mm-hmm. Or like, I remember you think imposter syndrome. I was, when I first became a bold coach, it was like, there was, at the time there were, I was like the 42nd, like, or 42 of us that were actually coaching. And I was like, I would go in this room with these incredible people and I would always feel like I was less than, or like, and it didn't matter in the room, like what they said, like, cause I remember like we were redoing the listing presentation and they had me present to all the other coaches and everybody was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Did y'all record that? Like they're taking notes. And that made me feel good. Like like people that I have been like the Steve Sleeters and they had
big names in coaching.
Yeah. Like if John Prescott going to Olivia, that was awesome. I was like, John Prescott, so I definitely cared when he said that. But like my nephew, I was talking to him about it and he goes, wait a minute. He goes, how many people are at Keller Williams? And at the time we had like 150,000 agents. He said, so you're telling me you're 42 out of 150,000 people? Mm-hmm. He's like, you're kind of a badass.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, that's like NFL numbers. Like there's only this and I was like, okay. And,
I'm cool.
Yeah. And so, but it was really.
That was the whitest thing I've ever done in my life.
But that was like, I could see words of affirmation. But yeah, and like I said, it's the service or words of affirmation. It's like for me, it's when you go out of your way, to do something for me or to make me feel appreciated. And that's why, so to me, like, if we go back to like the relationship part of that, I even think about people that I'm friends with. And this is, I was actually talking to Jeff back when he was my personal trainer, and we were talking about, I was like, first off, I
Jeff
said,
who?
I'm drawing a complete blank on his
Personal
last name.
trainer Jeff.
Yes.
Got it.
And Yeah, and he's a great guy. I still like, great
Yeah.
guy. But one of the things that we were talking about, I was like, yes. And so number one, unless somebody straight up says, like, I'm hitting on you. I've had friends be like, oh, he was, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
nah,
I'm
like we were
oblivious.
just like oblivious.
Yeah.
And so like somebody has to be like super direct with me, for me to think that, and I'm not gonna ask somebody out. And I know, like, it's fine for, I'm not.
It's 2024, Olivia.
I'm fine.
Get with it.
Yeah, and I'm fine with other girls doing that. I'm not saying like girls shouldn't. I'm saying me personally, I'm not gonna do it.
I have probably been asked out more than I'm asked out.
Yeah. So yeah, like I'm not gonna do it. But it's not a girl thing. It's just a me thing.
Well, I think it. So I think it actually is a girl. Like, if you were to tell your dad when you were 16, like, "Hey, I like this boy. I'm gonna see if he'll go out with me." What would your dad say to that?
Well, but so you got to remember now. I'm not gonna say my dad.
I didn't know if that was like. What if you had said that to Chuck?
Well, but that's so
And
like
Chuck would have been like,
no, like no, because this is the difference is because like I've got 6 brothers. Every one of them, I would just ask him out. Like it was not
that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. I would have thought that Chuck would have been like, hell no.
No, like Avery actually jokes that he's like, if I help you find a husband, this is my oldest brother. He's like, if I help you find him, he said, I want 6% because like in
Everybody's a
real
realtor in
estate,
her family.
everybody,
Yeah.
So you want the percentage or cut or whatever.
It's bananas. It's
bananas. Yeah, bananas.
Golly,
but yeah, so no, it's very much. But no, I'm not gonna. But again, I'm oblivious to. Like you've got to be like very direct. I'm just thinking we're just hanging out. It's funny. You're being funny. I don't ever.
I have plenty of like girl space friends.
Yeah.
You know, like we hang out. I was hanging out with multiple girls last night.
Yeah.
And we're all just friends.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
if somebody liked me, they'd have to tell me because I don't know.
That's very much.
I'm just being a friendly human.
That's right. Well, that's what Jeff and I were talking about. But he was saying the same thing. He's like, he's like the problem he has is he was saying like he's like, I don't ask people out, and I'm like but that's why I thought maybe it's just a me thing. But I think too, it's like the whole, I'm not putting myself out there. Like to me, guys that will walk, like that's guys like back in the day when I'd go to bars, guys that'll walk up and ask somebody to dance. I'm like, first off, I'm going to say yes. I don't care what you look like, because I'm thinking, you know how brave you were to walk over here to me
So you
and
do
my
sympathy
people?
dances?
Oh, hell, I'm never saying no. Like, I've had somebody that was 80 or 18. I'm not going to say no because I feel like an asshole.
See, but now, no, hold up. But now you're building false hope. And that's not fair.
But I'm not.
I wish some girls would have just told me no.
I can't.
Because then I'm like, oh, they kind of like me. Like, and then they're like, oh, no.
I'm not going to. I feel like
don't
that's
like
terribly mean.
Is it mean?
I feel like it is.
It's okay to say you're not interested.
But not in front of the group. Like, if you walked across to here and said, hey, do you want to dance? And I'd be like, no, I'm just going to say yes. No, I'm not going to be
My
mean.
tummy hurts. See, easy, done. They'll never talk to you again anyway.
And that's probably the other reason
Like,
why.
oh, that's old gassy. You don't want her.
Well, that's probably the other reason why I don't like to date, because there are certain things that I just feel like it's terribly mean. I don't want to. I'm not going to say.
But what
no.
if you said that, and then the next time they came to you, they brought you some gas X. They're like, "Will you dance with me now?"
That's right.
See, now you you have to at that point.
Yeah, no,
Right?
so-
that dude gets personality award.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
Yeah.
if somebody like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, you can tell in the dance whether like I like you or I'm all this or
Like,
whatever.
yeah,
But I'm gonna be
like,
nice.
There's a
I'm
big
not
old difference
gonna.
between this and like.
Yes, but like we were at a bar one night. Now this was years ago. That this older gentleman, and I bet he's at the bar. Like he just goes, and he's a good dancer. I'm not a good dancer. Not like couple stuff. I'm not a good dancer. Anyways,
We had a girl named Megan Good Dancer back in the bar days.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was her
hilarious.
name. Megan Good Dancer Weems was her name.
That's nice.
She just bought a house, not with me. Very
oh,
disappointed.
Megan. But yeah, and again, like there are certain people. I mean, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have hooked up with somebody. I don't know, but he didn't. He was very respectful the whole time, but he kept coming back and asking me to dance. I wasn't interested in him, but I'm not going to say no. And just because, like, you're at a bar, why not dance? Like, have fun. But it was the whole, like, no, you walk from here to there? Nah, that's just rude. I feel mean. I can't be mean to somebody like that.
I mean, it's not mean.
I find because I think about if I were to walk across and talk to somebody and they like blew me off, like, and I had to make that walk back.
Well,
My gosh, my whole stomach. I'm going now.
But you can do it tactfully. Like, you don't have to be a mean girl about it.
I don't know. I'm just thinking they got to make the long walk back.
Yeah.
Let me dance with them. They can make the shorter walk back from the end of the dance floor.
But then it's sympathy. I don't want sympathy.
It's not sympathy. It's just being nice.
Nice. Did y'all hear that Columbia come out on that? I was just
real
being
long.
nice.
Which is funny because I don't like when people call me nice. I don't want anybody to think I'm an ass, but to me, nice is like, it's like, I want to be known as a good person. Nice people get taken advantage of.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd like.
And nice is so benign. Like if somebody tells me, like I'll have people go, like if you're talking about a coach or somebody will call me like, well, I like my coach. They're real nice. I'm like, oh, that
You
is
got the wrong coach. Okay, so let's bring this up. So I said something that apparently stepped on your toes.
Well, no, I just wasn't sure what you meant by it.
Okay, so
yeah, I wanted to know more.
During our Zoom call, so every Friday, THLT has, every day we have 2 Zoom calls a day. We do 8:30, a goal set, and like, hey, this is what we're gonna get done today, and then 4:45, this is
what we did.
Goal report out. So yeah, this is what we got done today, and it's just so you can measure up, like, hey, this person's being super successful, and I'm not, and listen to what they did. Maybe I should change my activities, right? Mm-hmm. And so every Friday is my favorite phone call of the week because it's just a gratitude call. It can be about work, but it's not necessarily about it. It's just tell me something good Friday. And wait, did I say this on the Tell Me Something Good Friday call? Or did I say it on the morning call? Okay, it was.
I thought it was on the
Well, I said something in the morning call too.
Maybe it was the morning. I don't remember.
Well, I gave a slight scolding in the morning call.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that call. It was.
I put some accountability on that call.
Yeah. No, so it wasn't that call.
Okay, so it was the Friday call. Yeah, and I said something about it was talking about your class on Wednesday because it was a different class. It's not something we're used to, and yet like some people got taken back by it, and Olivia was like, well, hey, you said something about me stepping on some toes, and I was like,
yeah, I was like, what did you mean? Like,
did
is
not
there? Yeah.
Say stepping on toes. I said this person said they were taken back, but it was highly impactful. And she was like, oh, I was like, yeah, it's better. It's better than what you thought it was. But no, a coach's job. So I talked about this last night. You weren't in the conversation. You weren't there. But we were talking about coaching, and I said, if she's making you happy and making you feel good, she's fired. Mm-hmm. Because she's not doing her job.
Well, and when yes, and so I think there's a difference. So I'm a big, so let's say that you're struggling. Uh-huh. There's a time to go, hey, tell me what's happening. Where can we? So it's like, so usually I'm pushing harder when you're winning. And if
that's exactly what it says. She said,
but if you're struggling, we're going to be, it's not nice. Now, nice is, oh, Harrison, it's okay.
Oh, baby, it's going to be so okay.
Yeah. No, that's nice. That's not good coaching. Good coaching is, wow, Harrison, like, that sucks. That sounds hard. That is real.
Yeah.
And
what are we going to do?
Yeah. Like what's next? What happened that caused that? Where, do you help? Sometimes I literally had clients that I've said, look, why this is happening really, well, I don't know. It's because you're tired, you're burnt out. I need you to go home and watch a movie or take 2 days off and then come back full force. To me, that's not being nice. That's like what you legit in the moment.
Well, that's how you conquer burnout is like, hey, you need to cool down for a second.
Yeah.
And then let's put a strategy in place. Like maybe we need to start putting some safeguards in your time,
Yeah. So if you say, oh, they're a nice coach, I'm like, oh, that's the death. If I ever have a client that says I'm nice.
You're firing yourself.
I'm fired. Oh my gosh. So fast.
Yeah, you need to go get a new coach because I'm not pushing you. Yeah, so my exact comment about you last night, I was like, I love Olivia, and I was like, I can tell you 3 or 4 times probably in my career where she said something to me like super meaningful and has absolutely like either helped me, get past that struggle, make more money, unfortunately fire somebody, things like that. And
you just released them to industry.
I released them to industry, promoted them to friend, or at least I wanted them to be a friend. We're not friends. And I said, probably the thing that I hate the most about Olivia is that every time I'm like, Olivia, we killed it. We did this. It's f***ing awesome. And then you're like, okay, what's next? I'm like, what do you mean what's next? We f***ing won. No. You won today. What's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just don't even let me sit in my win at all.
Well, no, I want you to celebrate the win.
For 1 second.
For like the next 24 hours.
No, but it's saying, hey, winners win. We don't become complacent and we go build on this win.
Well, and when it's also, you have to know your client because depending on, so let's say I have a client that maybe they never appreciate their wins.
Yeah.
we are going to take
We're gonna
time
sit in the
going,
wins.
hold on, let's talk about the wins. You do, which is, I think is very healthy. You do say, wow, we won. We moved this. I'm excited about this. And so that's the difference, I think, with the like personality styles too. You've got to be very aware of your client, because if you have somebody that never sees their wins, now I've got to point them out. So, or else you'll get just burnt out because you feel like you're never winning, because in business, even when you're winning, like have you heard the rule of thirds? So there's an Olympian, she was sharing this, and her Olympian winning coach had shared this, and I thought it was so appropriate. When you look at anything that you're doing, business-wise, physical, whatever, it's the rule of thirds. So you should be, if you're doing this well, you should be happy about it a third of the time,
Okay.
frustrated a third of the time, and losing a third of the time. Any other combination means you're not growing.
I feel like I'm like 20, 35, 35.
Because, and I never thought about that, but if you think about it, like, so if you're looking to grow your business, if you think everything's great all the time, you're
Hell
stagnant,
no.
very possible. But,
Yeah, you're just sitting in the same mud.
and eventually you're going to be unhappy a lot more of the time, right?
Yeah.
And so, but if you know that that's the rule of thirds, the cool part is you can go, wait a minute, like, this is real tough right now. If I think about, like, I've got this terrible client, or I had a bad month, or whatever, you can go, wait a minute, that tracks. And I thought that was really cool, because you should, so like, if I've got a client that they can only see the tough and the loss, I'm going to spend some time with them to make sure that they can appreciate and the third of the win.
Yeah.
If I have somebody that like recognizes the win, we're going to, like, then I'm also going to go, woohoo, and where is the challenging part that maybe we don't want to talk about or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny. But yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's right. Like, if you're not feeling some pain in your business, you're either not growing or you're not overcoming objectives or obstacles, not objectives. Because there will
But
be
if you
times.
feel too much pain, right? Like, there's that, like,
Well,
it's kind of like
there's
good
a breaking
stress
point
and
for
bad
everyone.
stress.
I don't know
Yeah.
where my breaking point's at. I think I've probably been real close to that a few times since we've changed.
Lately. When you just, I can hear your language. Like, when you talk about, like, you had said a comment about a seller, not he wasn't talking about any particular seller, but you were like calling them about this. I could tell, like, it was in your mindset piece of, like, because again, when we get tired or we get burnt out or we get frustrated, everything frustrates us.
Yeah.
And so, we'll come back around and we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am very frustrated with sellers right now in this market, because this is a price sensitive market currently with building inventory, and they don't want to hear that.
Well, so we're going to go straight to coach right here. We got like a few minutes. So I want you to think about this. As long as it is their problem, what can you do about it?
Nothing.
And what are you very all about?
Doing something about it.
And
It's because they won't let me move their mountain.
if they won't let you, they still have all the control. You're the victim. So what do you have to do differently?
Get them to trust me.
You have to change what you're saying, what you're doing. You have to take complete responsibility that the reason why they didn't price it there, or they didn't do what they needed to do in order to have their results, is because of you coming from a place of, who do I have to be? What do I have to become in order to communicate in such a way that they understand it?
And this is why I hate Olivia. No, you're right. And so there are some extenuating circumstances in today's market.
No, this is the interesting thing. You're right. They now have
I'm not trying to be right. I just want to help these people. They say they need to change their living situation, whether it be upsize, downsize, change their finances, whatever. And yet they will not help themselves.
Now so this is where it gets really sticky on. Do you think, who is somebody that you really respect in our industry, in the real estate industry, that you think are amazing at getting people to say yes?
Brian Bindley.
Okay. So we'll take Brian, and I want somebody that's outside of our market.
Michelle Savage.
Okay, Michelle Savage. And then I want you to keep thinking bigger, Ben Kenny's.
Yeah, I mean.
Ben Kenny, Gary Keller, Diana Kokoska.
Mark Spain.
Mark Spain.
Yeah.
Is it possible that if you had all the skills that a Mark Spain, Diana Kokoska, Gary Keller, whatever had, would
I've
you
probably
possibly
taken more listings than every single one of those people.
What about Tony DeCello?
Oh, how many listings did he take?
He has sold. I want to say he listed.
Is he still in production?
No, but he'd been in it for a long time.
Oh.
He's older now. But what I'm saying is, if you had those skills, because it's not about taking the listings. Now you're in a different market, and now it's a communication skill to get them to hear what they don't want to hear, see what they don't want to see, so they get what they want. So, because again, as long as you're 100% right about the extenuating circumstances and the market shifted and all that. But if we it's kind of the being responsible. It's not about fault or blame, right or wrong. But when you get to the point where you're saying, I have to figure out a way to help them understand that, then you're going to do something different. You're going to show up different. You're going to learn different things. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, it was so easy. They did exactly what I wanted them to do or what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But as long as we're putting any of that on them, we can't change them. We can only change ourselves.
Yeah, I do find, another topic of conversation last night was, and this was, again, pointed towards you. This is me and Kelsey talking, by the way. You're like, who are you talking to? All these conversations about me. And it was you would have, if you would have been sitting at the table, you probably would have been crying. Okay. So it was a good conversation about our appreciation for you and our lives. We're not going to be nice to you anymore today. All right. And it was about, as you go into mastery, not forgetting the basics. Because when you think that you are or when you know you're in mastery, and your mindset changes into, I am the master.
I already know how to do this.
Yeah.
Is anybody else taking more listings than me?
No, the answer is no. And yet.
Are you coming at it from a beginner's mind? It's a new market.
That's right. And so to think that I know everything and that I can solve everything with old skills in a new market means that maybe, just maybe, we got to get back to the basics, which Sam Nelson doesn't know this shit. But mandatory lead gen hours and seller follow-up is about to start happening again.
Well, and I love this. And, because this is the interesting thing, a new problem can't be solved with at the same level of thinking that it was created. So
Say that again. Say it again.
A problem cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that you were at when it became.
Yeah.
So those two things that you just mentioned, those were 100% what's needed, and what you used to say to end those conversations with the sellers weekly. You got to learn something different.
Well, so it's different for today because as I was brushing my teeth today, not really sure how this happened, but I started thinking about the scripts and dialogues we learned in the slow market, which would have been 16 to 19 pre-COVID. And I was like, I literally have to get those things back in my head and make them a part of my daily conversations again.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Because they worked.
Yes, well, and now that's a new level of thinking, right?
Yeah.
You went to, in that type of market, what was the conversation I was needing to have to help them understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was, in the fast market, it was negotiation skills and understanding your leverage. Like right now, I haven't got to do this in so long. Oh my God, it made me so happy. So we listed a house and the seller, they overspent on the renovations. And it's not a bad part of town or anything, but they overspent. And I was like, look, I don't, just to be honest with you, I don't really like your financials. I would like to take a different approach to this house. I would like for you to underprice your house on purpose. And they were like, what? And I was like, I know.
It was all we were talking about in pricing. It's strategic. There are strategic reasons why we price certain things in certain places.
Yeah. So in today's market, average homes are going in 115 days for 3% under their list price. And at the same time, because they sit on the market for so long, they're getting smoked in inspection negotiations. They're getting smoked in seller concessions. I mean, I think I have 80 pendings right now. And that's the organization. I think I have like 13 or 14 or something like that. All right. And in those, 90+% of those deals, the seller is paying for most, if not all, of the buyer's closing costs. Mm-hmm. Because we listed under market, we had 20 people at their open house. We had 5 offers. I had the privilege of calling buyer's agents this weekend and going, hey, I know you have a showing at 123 Main Street. I just want to let you know that if you're not cash or conventional and you're not over asking with zero seller concessions, there's really no sense in you going to show the house. Just going ahead and set a precedent. Like, if you're not going to be competitive, this is not the house for you. Olivia. We want 11,000 over asking with no seller concessions. Cash, close in 20 days.
This is a different conversation, a different market, and you were very strategic.
I appreciated that the seller trusted me. Their business partner was not so keen on it. Because it's two, one here locally, and their business partner lives in like New Orleans or something. So what does a small town realtor know? And that's a struggle. And you big city folks, okay? I just want to say, like, just because we're not from the city does not mean that we're like podunk and don't have technology and don't know how to do things.
Well, and then you list 100+ houses a year. You just 250. Well, that's even as the team, but you personally. Okay, that's right.
So I'll say that. No, so we run a 2 listing agent system now. So I'm probably taking 3/4 of the listings. So I'll take 200+ this year. Sam will take 50 to 100.
But
on a normal is like if I'm going solo, it's 250 plus. I think we hit 300 last year.
Yeah. So but that right there is you going, I'm going to have a different conversation. I'm going to, you walked in there, whether you may, and I think you can recognize this, but you walked in there having a different conversation. You weren't walking in there going, sellers aren't going to listen to me. You went walked in there and said,
I just had a different, bold strategy.
Yes.
And I was like, I had to just throw something. So another issue with like mastery and like, hey, I know it all mentality is like just not having the enthusiasm and the excitement that I used to have in my voice. So like today it's like, hey guys, my name's Harrison Lilly. This is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost that same tonality. And used to, it was just Harrison who was happy to be there and have an opportunity at your business. And I was like, oh my God, guys, like, let me tell you about what we're going to do. It's going to be so fun.
Yes.
Like, I am going to do all this stuff.
Yes.
And to be clear, I was so much more excited then, and I had almost nothing to offer people because I didn't have the money, the systems, the people, the staff to do any of that. And today we have videographers and photographers and graphic designers and Google experts and social experts and retargeting and all the fun things that were like, literally, I'm not saying this. I know this factually. There is no company who has the tools and the finances we do to do the things that we do for our sellers. That is 100% irrefutable fact.
Yes.
And yet I'm less excited about it now.
Well, because it's that I've been there, done that versus now you're reconnecting to coming at it from. That's one of the reasons that the last couple of weeks, we've had in the all the trainings we've been talking about coming at it from a beginner's mind, staying curious. And on Friday, that's one of that. I pulled this up from what we were looking at on Friday, but we were talking about an effective consultation. Number one, connection. And that connection means that we are getting to know them. We're making that connection. We're finding that that spark between us. And then it's motivation. And then presentation and all that. And part of the presentation is, are you enthusiastic? Are you saying like, hey, let's do this together?
If you want to be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic.
That's my best.
Freaking
That's awesome.
bold.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And then information.
I'm a
and
money
then,
magnet.
Woohoo! Money comes to me easily and from everywhere.
No, it comes to me every way and every day.
No, that's the.
You're the coach. You tell me this.
That's because you're talking about a different thing.
No, that's
Yes.
no. Because your brother made it rain on me with $1 bills, and I specifically remember looking at Avery as he's making it rain on me, going, "I wonder how many times you've done this in different settings."
Yeah, I bet he's never.
That's so weird. He was so good at it.
No, because he's been to Bold a lot.
That creepy ass grin he had on his face. I was like, "What are you imagining right now?"
No, I probably he doesn't. He's not the guy that goes to strip clubs. But
okay.
But no, so that's why we're going back to the fundamentals. We're going, and it's not even going back. So we should make sure we never get away from them. But it is: are we coming from a beginner's mind?
Yeah.
Are we coming from? Yes, you are a master at it. But the moment we get the mastery, what happens is sometimes we get complacent, and we're not having fun anymore. So we got to figure out how do we make sure that we're having fun.
So I'm going to make little red hats that say "Make real estate fun again."
Yes.
And maybe that, because this graphic designer guy, he actually, he's a graphic designer, creates logos and presentations and all that, but you know what he actually specializes in?
What's that?
Swag. Ooh. We're about to get swaggy.
I can't wait for swag.
Yeah, we're going to have some THLT merch. If you listen to this podcast and subscribe and you reach out to us and you want we'll send it to you, but only if you're a subscriber. We're going to verify that. Yeah.
Tell us, you're going to get a test. What are the last 3 things? What is Harrison's love language?
What's Harrison wearing?
That's right.
That'll be easy. If you don't know that, you don't know me, and we're not friends. Yeah.
I think what was it? When we went in Tuesday, we went to the whole team got together and we helped one of the local.
The new school for autism, ACE.
Yes, and he showed up. Wasn't that you showed up and you weren't in a polo? And that was something Jade immediately was like, I don't recognize you. You're not in a polo.
I was just wearing like a short sleeve Under Armour shirt. I was looking pretty good. All this weight I've lost.
Yes. Okay, so we did notice your shoulders look really good. You're like, okay. All right, so it is 12 o'clock, so we are wrapping this up. So is there anything that you would like to say as Connor takes us out?
Let's go.
And you know what? I have one thing to say. I am super glad that we ended up doing this because we had that, we got started late and I was like,
to just roll out.
And
then it turned into a good conversation.
I think it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did.
Yeah.
Connor, thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing us the cord. Let's go.
See ya.
Bye.